Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive into something that feels like it's ripped straight out of sci-fi?
I'm talking AI in the fourth industrial revolution.
We've got some really cool sources we're going to unpack today, stuff from companies like Adobe and Walmart, even some stuff about AI changing the art world.
See, the thing about the fourth industrial revolution...
Or 4IR, for those in the know.
Right, 4IR, it's not just about the tech.
Like AI, blockchain, the Internet of Things, all that jazz.
Exactly. It's more about how all that stuff's blending together.
Blurring the lines between the physical world, the digital world.
And even biology.
We're talking smart cities, running everything with AI, doctors tailoring medicine to your DNA.
There's even an app that can make your selfie look like it's from a vintage yearbook.
Which actually is a perfect example of how AI is becoming a part of our everyday life.
Little things we don't even think about.
That's exactly what we're going to dig into in this deep dive. The big picture, the good, the bad, and what it all means for you.
It's going to be a wild ride. One of the biggest things to wrap your head around is that AI is the conductor of this whole revolution.
The mastermind behind the curtain.
That's a great way to put it. It shapes how all these other technologies work together and how they impact us.
So let's break it down. One of our sources talks about Industry 4.0. Factories turning into these sentient ecosystems. I mean, that's a pretty intense image.
Intense, but not too far off.
So not just robots replacing humans on assembly lines.
Right. It's more about AI systems working with humans, making everything run smoother and more efficient.
Like imagine a factory where the AI can predict when a machine needs maintenance before it even breaks down.
Yeah.
Less downtime, things running like a well-oiled machine.
Pun intended.
Maybe. But seriously, this is already happening in some places.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just factories.
Healthcare 4.0 is where things get really interesting.
Oh.
AI being used to diagnose diseases.
Sometimes even better than human doctors, which is pretty wild when you think about it.
There's a study that found an AI model that can spot breast cancer from mammograms. 99% accuracy. Better than human radiologists.
It's all about pattern recognition on a scale we can't even fathom.
And the potential for personalized medicine. Treatments tailor-made for your genes.
AI is making that a reality, and it's speeding up the process of discovering new drugs, too.
It's like having a medical expert designed just for you. But would you trust an AI doctor completely? That's the question, isn't it?
Big ethical questions are coming up left and right.
Makes you think about all the what-ifs.
What-ifs are important.
Like, what if the AI makes a mistake? Who's responsible?
It's like in that movie I, Robot, where the robots are supposed to help us and things go haywire.
Yeah, good point. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Society 4.0.
Where the whole world's getting a makeover.
Our sources paint a picture of these smart cities. AI managing traffic, optimizing energy use, even helping run the government.
Imagine cruising through the city and the traffic lights are adjusted in real time based on AI predictions. No more gridlock.
Or think about AI optimizing energy grids to cut down on waste.
Less reliance on fossil fuels.
These are just glimpses into what an AI-driven society could look like.
Exciting times.
It is exciting, but it also makes you wonder, who's really in control of all this? Are these algorithms designed with people in mind?
Or are we just obsessed with efficiency, no matter the cost? That's the question.
It is. It's like, are we building the Matrix?
Do we want to end up like Neo fighting a system we created?
Yeah, not ideal.
We gotta be smart about this. Critical thinkers.
Make sure these systems are lined up with our values and ethics. Speaking of which, let's move on to something a little lighter.
A bit of a palate cleanser.
Exactly. Creativity 4.0. Our sources talk about AI creating art, music, even writing.
They mention a robot rock opera. Can you believe that?
I'm kind of curious to see that, actually.
It's blurring the lines between human and machine creativity.
It makes you wonder, is art made by AI still real art?
Is it taking away from human creativity or opening up new possibilities?
It's like in Star Wars, where the droids can do almost anything humans can. It makes you think about the role of humans in a world where machines are so capable.
Big philosophical questions, for sure.
And that brings us to the ethical side of AI. Our sources describe it as navigating an ethical minefield, which I think is the perfect way to put it.
Nail on the head.
We're talking about algorithmic bias, the potential for AI to take over jobs, concerns about data privacy. It's a lot to unpack.
It really is.
It's like we're in one of those heist movies trying to dodge all the traps and pitfalls.
Picking the locks, disarming the lasers.
Ocean's 11, but with algorithms and ethics.
I like that analogy. We need to be strategic, thinking a few steps ahead.
So let's play this out. Imagine an AI is deciding whether you get a loan or even if you get a job.
It's not so far-fetched.
How does that feel?
A little unsettling.
It makes you think about fairness and transparency, doesn't it?
Absolutely crucial. And you know what else is crucial?
Hit me with it.
The digital divide. We
Right.
got to talk about it.
Some people have access to all these amazing AI tools while others are left behind.
One of our sources compares it to some people having a superhighway of information while others are stuck on a dirt road.
It's like having a superpower that only some people can use.
That's a recipe for inequality on a massive scale. We have to figure out how to bridge that gap, make sure everyone benefits.
Couldn't agree more. We can't leave anyone behind. And we can't forget about jobs.
The big elephant in the room.
AI is going to automate millions of jobs. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt at all.
But it's also going to create new jobs, right?
Absolutely, in fields like AI development, ethics, maintenance.
So it's not just about robots taking over. It's more about a shift in the types of jobs that'll be out there.
It's like the Industrial Revolution all over again.
New tech comes along, some jobs disappear, new opportunities pop up.
The key is adaptability. We got to be ready to learn new skills throughout our careers.
Embrace the change, not fear it.
Exactly. We got to focus on what makes us uniquely human, like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. Those are the skills that'll be in high demand in the future.
So think about this, everyone listening. How might AI impact your job?
What skills can you develop to thrive in this AI-driven world?
We'll be tackling those questions and more in the next part of our deep dive, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI and the fourth industrial revolution. We've covered some serious ground so far.
From the potential of AI to those tricky ethical questions, right?
Yeah, and how we find that balance between pushing the boundaries of innovation while making sure we're doing it ethically.
We talked about smart factories that are basically like their own little worlds.
AI doctors that might even be better at diagnosing than human doctors, which is a little freaky, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And who could forget the robot rock opera? I'd actually be curious to see that.
Right, it'd be wild.
We even dug into some pretty deep stuff like bias and algorithms, the possibility of AI taking over jobs, and that whole digital divide thing.
Yeah, we can't ignore those issues. They're huge.
But now, let's bring it all back down to earth.
Yeah.
How did these big ideas about AI and the fourth industrial revolution actually impact your life? Because this isn't some sci-fi fantasy set in the distant future. It's happening right now.
It's all around us, like those news snippets we talked about earlier.
Adobe's AI photo editing tools that can just create objects from text prompts.
Walmart developing AI shopping assistants. And that app that turns your selfie into a vintage yearbook photo.
Yeah. It's like AI is quietly sneaking into every part of our lives.
Sometimes we don't even realize it's there.
But it is. Think about it. You're probably using AI every single day.
Those recommendations you get on Netflix? AI.
The spam filters saving our inboxes. AI.
The navigation apps that get you where you need to go.
You guessed it. AI. It's like we have this whole team of invisible helpers making our lives a little bit easier.
And a lot more entertaining, too.
But here's where things get even more interesting. As AI keeps getting smarter, it's going to do more than just those basic tasks.
It'll be more interactive, more tailored to our individual needs.
More intelligent. Just imagine having an AI assistant that not only manages your schedule,
but also learns your preferences, anticipates what you need before you even ask.
it'd be like having your own personal Alfred, like Batman's butler, but in digital form.
Exactly. Or how about an AI tutor that figures out how you learn best?
Helps you master anything, no matter how complicated.
No more slogging through those boring textbooks alone.
And what about an AI health coach? Like, it tracks your vitals, gives you personalized fitness advice.
Even alerts your doctor if something seems wrong.
It'd be like having a dedicated health expert right in your pocket, keeping an eye on you 24/7.
These are just a few examples of what AI could be doing for us in the very near future.
It's mind-blowing, honestly. But I have to admit, it can be a little daunting too. Sometimes it feels like we're caught up in this whirlwind of AI advancements, and we don't know where it's going to take us.
I get that. It can feel like we're on a runaway train.
But we're not just passengers, are we?
No way. We have a say in this. We can shape the future of AI. We can guide it in a direction that benefits everyone.
That's a powerful thought. But how do we actually do that? What can regular people like us really do to make sure AI is used for good?
It all starts with you, with each and every listener.
Okay, lay it on us. What's step one?
Stay informed. Keep learning about AI, what it can do, what it can't do. There are tons of resources out there.
Read articles, listen to podcasts, go to webinars.
It's like learning a new language. The more you understand the language of AI, the easier it'll be to navigate this new world.
So step one, education. Got it. What's next?
Be a critical thinker. Don't just believe everything you hear about AI. Question it.
Look for those hidden biases.
Weigh the pros and cons. Think about the impact it's having.
Be a detective.
Exactly. And finally, get involved. Talk to your friends and family about AI. Share what you're learning, what you're thinking.
Start those conversations.
Engage with policymakers. Advocate for ethical guidelines. Support organizations that are fighting for responsible AI development.
Make your voice heard. Be part of shaping the future you want to see.
Because the future of AI isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we're building together as a society. And now, as we move into the last part of our deep dive, we want to take a closer look at one of the biggest challenges we're facing with AI.
The digital divide, right? We talked about it earlier, but this is a big one.
This isn't just about who has the latest smartphone or the fastest internet connection. It's about access to information, education, opportunity, and all of those things are becoming more and more intertwined with AI.
So if you don't have access to those AI-powered tools and resources,
you're going to be left behind. Imagine a world where some kids have personalized AI tutors, while others are stuck in overcrowded classrooms with outdated textbooks.
It's like some kids get to go to Hogwarts and learn magic, while the rest are stuck in regular school. Not exactly a level playing field.
Right, and it's not just education. Think about healthcare.
AI could revolutionize healthcare. We could have AI-powered diagnostics that are incredibly accurate.
But what if only the wealthy can afford them?
Then we're not just talking about a digital divide. We're talking about a health divide. And that has life or death consequences.
It's a serious problem.
So how do we bridge this gap? I mean, there are no easy answers, are there?
Not really, but we have to try. We can't just ignore it and hope it goes away. One thing we can do is focus on digital literacy and AI education for everyone.
Make sure everyone has the basic knowledge and skills to use these technologies, regardless of their background.
It's like that saying, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
So true.
But it goes beyond education, too. We have to make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
AI for the people, by the people.
Exactly. We need to ensure AI-powered solutions are accessible, affordable, and designed to meet the needs of all communities.
It's about creating a future where AI lifts everyone up. Speaking of lifting things up, let's talk about that other big concern with AI jobs. It's the question everyone's asking.
Are the robots coming for our jobs?
It does feel a little like that sometimes, with all the talk about AI and automation.
Well, it's not that straightforward. It's true that AI will automate a lot of tasks that are currently done by humans.
We're already seeing it in manufacturing, transportation, even customer service.
But AI is also creating new jobs, especially in fields like AI development, data science, and AI ethics.
So it's not just about robots taking over.
But
It's more of a shift in the types of jobs that will be available.
it's kind of like what happened during the Industrial Revolution. Some jobs disappeared, but new opportunities emerged.
Exactly.
The key is to be adaptable, to be willing to learn new skills throughout our careers.
Lifelong learning is essential in this rapidly changing world.
The jobs of the future will require different skills. We'll need to be more creative, better at critical thinking, and have higher emotional intelligence.
Think about it like this. You've got a chess-playing computer and a grandmaster. The computer can calculate millions of moves per second, but it doesn't understand the artistry of the game, the strategy, the psychology.
That's what makes humans unique. And those uniquely human qualities will be in high demand in the future.
So how do we prepare for this job market tsunami that's headed our way?
We adapt, we stay flexible, we embrace new technologies instead of fearing them.
It's not about fighting the robots. It's about learning to work alongside them.
Use their strengths to our advantage while showing off our own unique human abilities. And speaking of uniquely human abilities, let's circle back to those ethical considerations we talked about before.
Because if AI is going to be making decisions that impact our life, those decisions need to be fair.
Unbiased.
One of our sources talked about the ethical minefield of AI, and it really is.
There are so many potential pitfalls.
We need to be extremely careful about how we design and deploy these systems.
What if we create an AI system to screen job applicants, but it's trained on data that's biased against certain groups of people?
It could perpetuate those inequalities, maybe even make them worse.
That's a big concern.
It's like building a house on a shaky foundation.
If the foundation is flawed, the whole thing could collapse.
That's why it's crucial to have diverse teams working on AI. Different perspectives, different values.
We need to make sure everyone's voice is heard.
And we need clear guidelines, regulations for the ethical use of AI.
It's like setting up traffic lights for the superhighway of information. We need rules of the road to keep everyone safe.
Good analogy.
But it's not all doom and gloom. AI has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
That's the exciting part.
AI could help us fight climate change. We could see incredible breakthroughs in healthcare.
We could even create new forms of art and entertainment we haven't even imagined yet.
It's like we have this incredible superpower at our disposal.
But, like Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We need to approach AI with both enthusiasm and caution. A sense of wonder, but also a healthy dose of skepticism.
AI isn't the solution to every problem. It's a tool.
And it's up to us to use it wisely.
Exactly. So what do you think? What's your big prediction for the future of AI?
That's a tough one. There are so many possibilities.
What's going to happen in the next 10 years that's going to blow our minds?
I think we're going to see AI become so integrated into our lives that we won't even notice it anymore.
It'll be like electricity or the internet. It's just there.
It won't be AI anymore. It'll just be part of everything.
Exactly. Think about it. Our homes will be intelligent. Our cities will be intelligent. Our workplaces, maybe even our bodies.
It's a seamless blend of the physical and the digital. It's like intelligence is woven into the very fabric of our existence.
That's a pretty wild thought, right?
It is.
Right.
But it also raises a lot of questions. What about privacy in a world where everything is intelligent?
How do we make sure that all this intelligence is used ethically?
Those are questions we need to be asking right now, while we still have a chance to shape the answers.
Because once the genie is out of the bottle, it's a lot harder to put it back in.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We talked about the potential benefits of AI, the ethical challenges we need to address.
We've only scratched the surface, really. There's so much more to explore.
And that's what we'll be doing in the final part of our deep dive.
We're going to look at some specific examples of how AI is already changing the world.
And we want to hear from you, our listeners.
What are your thoughts on AI? What are your predictions for the future?
Stay tuned. We've got some surprises in store for you.
And in the meantime,
keep thinking critically. Keep asking questions. Keep exploring the possibilities of this brave new world we're creating together. And we're back. Final part of our deep dive into AI and the fourth industrial revolution. It's been quite a ride, eh?
We've covered a lot of ground, that's for sure. From those big, exciting possibilities of AI to those ethical questions that keep us up at night.
Like, are we building a future we actually want to live in? Those are the conversations we need to be having. But now it's time to bring it all back down to earth. How does all this AI stuff actually impact you, our listeners?
Right, because this isn't some distant sci-fi movie. This is happening right now, all around us.
It really is. Remember those news stories we talked about at the beginning? Adobe creating those AI photo editing tools that can just conjure up objects from thin air?
And Walmart developing those AI shopping assistants? Oh, and that app that turns your selfies into vintage yearbook pics.
Yeah. AI is weaving itself into every aspect of our lives, often without us even realizing it.
It's true. I mean, think about it. You're probably using AI every single day.
No way. I don't think so. I don't even own any robots.
You probably use Netflix, right? Those recommendations you get. AI.
Okay, yeah, I guess I do use that.
And those spam filters that keep your inbox from overflowing with junk.
They're lifesavers. AI is behind those too.
Exactly. And all those navigation apps that get you where you need to go, yep, AI is powering those as well.
Okay, I see your point. It's like we've got this whole team of invisible robots working behind the scenes.
More like a team of digital helpers, making things run a little smoother, a little more efficiently.
True. But here's where things get even more mind-blowing. As AI gets smarter, it's going to go way beyond those basic tasks.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get a whole lot more interactive, more personalized, more intelligent.
I'm ready for it. So what are we talking about here?
Well, just imagine. You've got an AI assistant that not only manages your schedule,
I'm already sold. Tell me more.
but it actually learns your preferences and anticipates what you need before you even ask?
Now that's what I'm talking about. Like having my own personal Jarvis, like Iron Man's AI.
Yeah.
Always one step ahead.
Exactly. And picture this, an AI tutor that's personalized to your learning style.
Yeah, I could use one of those.
It helps you master any subject, no matter how complex. So no more struggling through those textbooks alone.
It's like having a private tutor available 24/7. I love it. What else?
How about an AI health coach? Tracks your vitals, gives you personalized fitness advice, even alerts your doctor if something's not right.
Whoa, that's like having a dedicated health expert right in your pocket. Amazing.
Right. And these are just a few examples of what's possible. We're really just scratching the surface here.
It's all pretty mind-blowing, but honestly, it can also feel a bit overwhelming. Like, are we really ready for all this?
I hear you. It's a lot to take in. Sometimes it feels like we're on this runaway train headed towards a future we can't even imagine.
That's a good way to put it, a runaway train.
Yeah.
So how do we, take control of this situation?
Well, the good news is we're not just passengers on this train. We have the power to steer it, to shape the future of AI so it benefits all of us.
Okay, I like the sound of that. But how do we actually do that? How do we make sure AI is used for good?
It starts with each one of us, with every single listener. And the first step is simple. Stay informed. Keep learning about AI, what it can do and what it can't do.
Read those articles, listen to those podcasts, go to those webinars.
Absolutely. It's like learning a new language. The more you understand the language of AI, the easier it'll be to navigate this new world.
Education is key. Okay, got it. What's next?
Be a critical thinker. Don't just blindly accept everything you hear about AI. Question the assumptions, consider the potential biases, look for both the good and the bad.
So, be a detective. Investigate the evidence and come to your own conclusions.
Exactly. And finally, the most important step of all, get involved. Talk to your friends and family about AI.
Have those tough conversations.
Engage with policymakers, advocate for ethical guidelines, support organizations that are working to ensure AI is used responsibly.
We have to make our voices heard, right? Be part of shaping the future we want to see.
That's what it's all about. Because the future of AI isn't something that's just going to happen to us. It's something we're creating together, all of us. And now, as we wrap up our deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought.
A little something to ponder as we step off this metaphorical AI train.
If AI could solve one major problem in the world, what would it be?
Climate change, poverty, disease, or something else entirely? It's a tough question.
It is, but it's a question worth asking. Because the power to shape that answer is in our hands.
That's a powerful reminder. We may not have all the answers, but we do have the power to ask the right questions, to shape the future we want to see. Thanks for joining us on this journey, everyone.
It's been an incredible conversation, and we hope you'll continue to explore the possibilities of AI with us. Because the future is waiting, and it's full of potential.